Hey, guys. So I am so super excited about today because we are kicking off the three-part series, The Three C's, Keeping Your Book Trapped in Your Head. I'm excited about it because I love just the ahas that are going to happen. I already know there will be these moments when the lights just come on and the writing can begin. So as you come in, let me know that you're there. Say hey. Let me do all of the techie stuff to make sure I'm up and at 'em. As you come in, say, hey, if you are a part of the community, make sure that people can see it. Make sure if you have friends who've been struggling with this, if you're the friend, share. Sharing is caring. That's always good. All right. So, hey, guys. Thank you for joining me live. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me, all that good tech stuff. And I'm just going to continue to make sure I'm out here in the internet streets. Okay. Okay. So, for those of you who are new to me, I am Tessa Colvin. I am a publishing coach and consultant for those who are ready to share their message, stories, experiences, their genius with others. And it's focused on showing them a better way. And for those who I serve, I take the stress out of book writing. And that's why we're here, because the word trapped is a powerful word. And it's something that we've all felt. We have all felt that wanting to just give back, that wanting to share parts of our story, parts of our journey. And we've all had someone say, give it to, you should write a book. Have you ever thought about writing a book? And it's like, well, yeah, it's never new information. That's never something new. It never blows you away that somebody says you should write a book. The challenge is, and the struggle for you is the writing of the book. Everybody under the sun, some of you on here know me and you know how I feel about the next statement I'm about to make. Some of you have had people to tell you, they have commented on your post, they have sent you messages and say, just write. Just write. And while theoretically that sounds like the solution to the problem, that's not the way to go. And I'm going to explain to you why. When you sit down to just write and you feel this pulling and tugging back and forth on who you should be talking to and what you should be talking about and why are you even writing your book and what part or parts of your story are you telling, what happens? You get pulled in so many different directions, you make no progress. You stuck. And now you feel you have this blank page staring at you. That cursor, y'all know how I feel about the cursor, that flashing cursor telling you, reminding you, you have put no words down for this book you're trying to write. We've been there. I have been there. I have been there for hours staring at the cursor. Why? I don't know. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. That's how I learned this process that I teach now. And one of the things that I want you to understand is just write is not the way to go. If you've been wrestling, think about what that means. I'm not talking about like the fun, you're in the audience like, yeah, take them down. I mean like wrestling. If you've been wrestling with your book and getting the words from here to paper, whether that's writing with pen, whether that's writing with a notebook, just write isn't enough. It's just not. So I know how you feel. I know that you feel an agony. Like you can't even describe the pain that you feel to have all of this stuff in your head, these stories, these parallels, these algorithms. I'm the queen of algorithms. Analogies and things like formulas that'll help people's lives just go to the next level. And all you got to do, you think, is just translate that powerful information to pages. That should be simple, right? And it should be. But there's a couple of different things that happen. When you sit down, you immediately tense up. You sit down and you go into like student mode. Y'all remember am I going to tell my age a little bit? Typing class, I'm sure they don't do that anymore. But they used to tell you to where to set your fingers and ASDF, JKL, semicolon. And even with that, your body gets all rigid and tense because you don't want to make a mistake and you don't want to miss key and blah, blah, blah. So the other thing is that you go into academic mode in your mind, like it's going to pour out and it's got to be grammatically correct because you don't want to bother an editor with grammar issues, and it's got to be this and it's got to be that. When the truth is, it's just got to be your message. Judy, you said we get stuck. Yes, we do. It's just got to be your message. So that is why we're here today, because the goal, the desire is to free, to completely unblock, to unclog, to unstop the writing pathway so that you can just write. But there's a little bit of work that you need to do before that. And so we start today with part 1, and I'm smiling because it's my favorite part. It's the foundation. It's what brings it into view for you that you can actually get your book done, right? It's what brings it into you believing that it's possible. So the first part, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you get clarity. Game changer, right? Make sure that you get clarity. That's exactly what you want to do. That's exactly what you want to do. Clarity, don't roll your eyes. I see you rolling your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. It's very important. Clarity, not just, am I clear? Yes, I want to write a book. I'm going to give you 2 phases of clarity. So get your pen, get your paper. Hey, Tamika, give me a big long hey. Hey, get your pen, get your paper, and let's dive into clarity. So clarity is just that. It's the state of having clear thought, clear understanding, the state of being clear, right? That's simple. But it's deeper than that, especially when it comes to writing a book. And so the first piece of the clarity that's going to unblock you, the first piece of the clarity that will help you to take that message, that powerful message that's pounding its way into your psyche and everything that you do in your being, is to understand your intentions for writing a book. So someone told you to write a book, or you should write a book. Okay. I'm a rebel. That usually doesn't work for me, for somebody to just tell me to do something. I have to look at my own intentions, right? You've got to look at your intentions. What's your intention for writing the book? And I want you to understand this. This is my favorite part, because I'm going to tell you something you've never heard before. Your intentions is all about you. What do you want to happen as a result of you writing your book? I know that's game changing, right? Because everyone tells you you should be on the other side of that spectrum, which is, how do you want, what do people need? What do you come out and you do that Miss America, and you're like, I want to save the world with my book. And that's beautiful. And that's possible to a certain extent. But your intentions are about you. Your intentions are your selfish desires for writing this book. You got to know that. You have to be real. You can't translate your power in a real way into pages if you won't even be real with yourself. So step 1, get clear. Step 1B, what are your intentions? Right? Judy, I want you to be selfish for a minute. Yes, you want to help others. Yes. But what are some internal drivers? Let's look at that. So for me, I do what I do. Yes, I want to help others. But guess what? It makes me feel good to help others. It makes me feel good to be a part of the results that other people get because of what I give and how I serve. That makes me feel good. I want more of that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's different than the selfless approach that we are used to taking. And it's okay. It's okay. You have to be real with yourself about the intentions. You want to feel more of the excitement and the joy and the fulfillment that comes from helping people by sharing your story, by sharing your experience, by sharing your education, by sharing your skill set, by sharing these tips, tools, and tricks that'll just show them a better way. Now, that's what it is for me. What is it for you? Maybe it would make the journey make sense for you. Maybe being able to help other people will just make it okay. So clearly I had to go through this thing so that I can help Judy, so that I can help Chandra. Clearly I had to go through this thing so that I can help Tamika. So I want to write my book because that will make it make sense for me. Selfish. Doesn't hurt anybody, and it's okay. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's absolutely okay. Your intentions. That's right, Marissa, be real with yourself. It's beautiful words to say, I just want to help other people. And that may be true, but why do you want to help other people? Because it feels good. It brings you fulfillment. It gives you a sense of peace to know, you know what? This person doesn't have to struggle with grief because I opened up and I was vulnerable with them and I told them parts of my story and I told them what worked and I told them what didn't work. They won't have to grieve as long as I did. Just that simple. That's just the first piece though. You get another selfish piece. That was the first piece, was intentions. I always look at intentions because of how the word is spelled. What do you internally, what is your driver? Inside, intention, right? Inside, what is it that is driving you to want to write a book? Right? And so then the flip side of that is goals. People use that intentions and goals interchangeably. It's very different. Two totally different things, especially in Tessa world. Two totally different things. Intentions, inner. What's your inner driver for wanting to get your book done? The other side of that, goals. What are the external manifestations, the external milestones, the external measures of success that you want to see happen as a result of your book, right? Whenever you get ready to go on a trip, well, not me, but usually when people are going on a trip, they map out where they're going. They might, map the best path to get there and all that good stuff, right? It's the same thing with goals. If you don't know the end game, the end desire that you want to see, remember, outside of you, then how do you plan to get there? So this is where, and again, this is a selfish piece and it's okay. You might say, you know what? I want to be on Oprah Super Soul Sunday because my book is that powerful. I said it out loud. It's okay. It's okay, right? You might say, I want to, every month in 2019, I want to be speaking somewhere and sharing with people about my story and my book and how it can help them. Notice I say, I want. Is absolutely okay. I'm going to stress that because that's something people get caught up on. And like I said, we go into the faux humble, the super humble, how we want to change the world. And again, that may be your heart, but look at it deeper. Why? Because that is not always going, if it doesn't involve you, it's not always going to keep you motivated. That's the reality. When you are going through rewrites and you are dealing with an editor and you are doing all of these things to get your book from here to paper and then delivered to the people who need it the most, if you're not being real with yourself about what it is that you intend to happen, what your intentions are for getting it done, and what your external goals are, it ain't going to work. It'll continue to be a dream. Hey, Janelle. So going back to the first step, clarity is important. And this is how you get the clarity. You get the clarity because you're reverse engineering your path. The clarity is, why am I doing this? Well, because I do want to help people, but because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to know that I can help people get results that they've been struggling to get. It makes me feel good to know that this thing that I went through, this challenge that I had, this obstacle I had to overcome, I can now see the validation in that, like, okay, so that's why I went through that, so that I can help these people, so that I can stand on stages and tell them, guess what? It's not just you. You can survive. Let me tell you how. It's not as hard as you think, or whatever it is that your message is, right? And then the goals piece. The goals piece is a big deal because I'm going to tell you a secret. The goals piece helps you when it comes to the marketing of your book. If you know where you want your book to take you, to get you in front of the people who need you and get you in front of the people who you're supposed to serve, then the marketing piece makes sense. If you know you want TV and all you're getting from people who are helping you with marketing is radio, then that's not aligned, right? I mean, it can be, but you see what I'm saying. If you know that you want to launch a program or you want to launch a conference, then you begin to put the pieces together to make that happen from the time you write your first word, because that's the end goal, because you know the intentions and the goals for your book. So this is what I mean when I say clarity. I know you were probably thinking, oh, I got to sit down and outline, and you do. But before you even do that, you've got to be able to visualize the journey that this book is going to take you on, because you're partnering with your project. You're partnering with your project, and the goal is usually, especially if you're working with me, the goal is global impact. The goal is not to say, hey, I wrote this book and the cover pretty. That's not the goal. The goal is to impact as many people, to serve way more people than your calendar will allow. I don't know how many slots you have in your calendar, but even doing what I do, I only have so many slots in a day that I can serve people. Books allow me to touch more people's lives than I ever thought imaginable, right? It's not just me. You too. You too. If you've only got 12 slots in your day, you can only help 12 people. That's technically not true, because at some point you need to eat, at some point you need to be a mom, at some point you need to be a dad, at some point you got to be a puppy whisperer, at some point you've got to tend to other things. Especially if you're a business owner, you might wear a bunch of different hats. So those slots shrink when you put all of that together. But guess what can go for you and impact lives in a major way? Your book. Your message goes from powerful thought, powerful testimony, to powerful book, and impacts multiple people. But the first step is not, if you're just joining, I'm glad you're just joining, you can hear this. It is not just sit down to write. It's not. When you just sit down to write, you never step out of the selfish mode. Remember, I gave you have permission at the very beginning when you're getting clarity to be selfish. What are your intentions? I want to write a book because I'm a genius at this, and it makes me feel good to get people results, right? Nothing wrong with that. What are your goals? Because intentions and goals are different. You want to map out what that is. Your homework, yes, there's homework. That's my favorite thing. If I think I saw some of my clients on here, I usually sing the word homework, but I won't do that. I won't do that to you today. But your homework, I want you to list out your intentions. Be selfish. I like the fact that when I help people, they get results. It makes me feel good. I like the fact that they have struggled for years to get results. And then when they get on the phone with me within 20 minutes, light bulb. Really? You appreciate me saying, see how people do. Right? Hey, Lenora. Hey, Amanda. So here's the thing. Clarity is a big deal. Do not skip it thinking that, oh, I got clarity and that I should write a book. That's not the type of clarity I'm talking about. That's not going to move you. That's not going to motivate you. That is not going to keep you moving forward. Just like I said before, just saying that you want to help people, that is a beautiful statement, but it's not powerful enough to fuel you through the process. That's the truth. That's something you haven't heard before. It might hurt, but that's okay. I still love you. That's why I'm telling you the truth, right? I'm telling you the truth because just saying you want to write a book just because it helps people isn't enough. Be real, be honest. If you can't do it before you write, you won't be able to do it when you write. You want to help people because it makes you feel good. You want to help people because it makes this journey, this thing you had to overcome, make sense. You want to help people because you know what? You want to leave a legacy. You want your name to be remembered for serving people in a major way and changing their lives. That's what I want. Right? So your homework, I was going to say your mission, should you choose to accept it, is this. List out those intentions. Remember, that's the internal drivers for why you want to get your book done. This is very important. It will make sure that when you are talking to your readers, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the series, you are talking to them and it's a love letter for them. It's not just some more fluffy stuff. It's enough of that out there. I know some people on here, they are sales experts. It's enough fluffy sales stuff out there that tell you that, you know, you can be a millionaire by the time this live stream is over if you just build this. But you are going to give them the facts. You're going to tell them, listen, let me tell you how hard I failed because day one of being an online entrepreneur, I went and got Infusionsoft. Just me? It's okay. That's fine. let me tell you how hard I fail trying to go get an editor and I hadn't written word one of my book. That's my story. Or getting an editor and not knowing, well, being called to really know who I am because she said, unless I wrote to formula, I would never be published. I had a decision to make, right? I had intentions and goals she didn't understand. And if I wasn't clear on my intentions and goals, that editor would have ended my writing career. So do you see why the clarity is necessary? It's the fuel that you need to not just get started, but to keep going, right? Yes, you want to help people. Yes, you want to make sure that you are not limited by the number of slots on your calendar as far as how many people you can help. When you look back at your message, when you look back at what you've overcome, whether it is for your community, whether it's you being an entrepreneur, whether it's personal development, like how to budget and be a single mom, I could have used that book. Whatever it is that you are a master of, say it with me, those of you who've been with me for a while, somebody is Googling for that answer right now. And because you don't have your book done, it's like they're calling 911 and nobody's answering. So don't fall into the just right trap, because it is that. It's a trap. And you've already dealt with that, right? Get the clarity you need. Get the clarity you need. What do I want? Why do I want to write this book? Why do I want to write this love letter to help heal these people that I don't even know? So clearly the answer can't be, oh, I want to help people. Why do I want to write this love letter about the intricate details of my depression or the intricate details of building a business by myself when nobody believed in me? Why do I want to write this love letter to them? Why? It's not going to be just because I want to help. It's because I want to help and it feels good. It's because I want to help and I can get you results because of all of the time that I put into this. I can get you results that you haven't gotten when you bought into that course that I knew wasn't going to work for you. I can get you results. I can help you fast forward because I've already done the time, so you don't have to. Different, right? So that's the clarity that I am talking about. And I encourage you, if you're not in the group, in my Facebook group, it's around here somewhere, there's a link that you can join. Feel free to drop your homework in there. Feel free to list out your intentions and your goals for getting your book done. It'll be something to see when you write it out. It'll be the first step in writing a love letter to your readers because it's a love letter to yourself. That's why it's the selfish piece. And yes, it's still clarity. And it's okay to be selfish in this aspect. It's okay, right? So with the clarity, let me give you an even broader understanding of what happens. With the clarity of writing out what your intentions and goals are, you begin your marketing framework. And you haven't even written your book. You begin the marketing framework, you haven't even written your book. You also begin to zero in on where you need to be spending time with people you're trying to impact. So if you know that your goal is to be on stages talking to people about this message that you have, that's amazing, and that is a game changer for whoever and whatever, then you can start to get in those rooms now. Don't wait. But you can't figure any of that out if you don't even know past, oh, I should write a book because I want to help everybody. That's not clarity. That's a facade. That's not real. And that's not going to help you write your book. Now, get off my soapbox. And I'll go back through. I see some of you guys asking some questions. Judy, you said, so others will be able to get through the grieving process easier. Exactly. But why? On top of that, yes, they'll get through the grieving process easily, but you'll be able to help them do that. And guess what? It will feel good. It will help, again, to make sense of why you had to encounter the things that you encountered. Right? That's a big deal. Not only do you want to serve them, but you want to feel good about your service. Who doesn't? I've never been in a position, hey Tanya, I've never been in a position where I was serving and I did subpar service and that made me feel good. That's just me. I don't know, maybe y'all some rebels. Maybe y'all some rebels out there and you like to do the things the opposite way. But this piece right here sets you up not just to be some random person who wrote a book, but it sets you up to be, I will not use the word guru, but it sets you up to be a voice that people know, like, trust, love, are anxious to get in the room when they know that you will be there. They're anxious to touch the hem of your garment. And I'm not comparing you to Jesus. I'm just saying you have a solution for them and they want it and they need it and they trust you. You're not another one of those books, those ebooks that give 27 steps. I'm going to give you the first 3 and then you got to buy a course and get the other 22. You're not doing that. You're taking them from awareness to action. And the first part of that is to hone in on your own level of awareness so that you can take action. Do you see the parallel? You cannot take people from awareness to action if you haven't gone through that path also. Awareness. Why do I want to write this book? Is it because my mom and my cousins and my church members and my coworkers and my business peers tell me I should write a book because I'm good at this? Or is it something else? It's going to be something else. They were only sent to confirm that you should write a book. So you go from awareness to action. You set goals. I'm going to speak on 12 stages in 2019. I am going to have 5 podcast interviews in 2019. I am going to speak internationally. I'm going to, I don't know, China in 2019 to speak on the topic of my book. It's different. You've got to take the path from awareness to action before you can take anyone from the path to from awareness to action. Period. It starts with clarity. I'm going to say this over and over again. It does not start with just writing. It doesn't. It does not. When you sit down and you just write, either you don't write or you write on a very surface level that doesn't transform anyone. It doesn't transform you. It doesn't transform the reader. It's enough of those books out there. As a matter of fact, let me give you a statistic. Over 400,000 books, ebooks go live on Amazon alone every single day. 400,000. Of those, only 26% of those books ever get bought, right? Of the 26%, only 17% actually ever get read from beginning to end. Think about those numbers. You can easily fall into an abyss with your book. I know several people who have taken the Master P route and, did Vanity Press or different things, and they have trunk full of books. They have garages full of books. You have an ebook that's out there. It's like in a ghost town because it's out there on whoever's website or whatever. And it's still not getting to the people who need it the most. And the reason is because those people sat down to just write. They did not plot a path for where their book was going to take them. Don't be in that number. Not that number. That's not the number you want to hang out in, right? It doesn't impact anyone. It impacts you negatively because you think, oh, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe no one needs this. Maybe it was my ego. See how, look, even saying those things, and that's not true about me. I'm awesome. But even saying those things, it was like a weight being put on my shoulder. It negatively impacts you. Something as simple as not getting clarity about why you want to write your book and where you want to be partnered and where you want to go with your book. It changes things. Like I said, it becomes the foundation of your marketing plan. It becomes the foundation of the love letter that you're writing to these readers who will be hanging on your every word, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that. Throughout this series, that's the whole focus, helping you to write that love letter, helping you to get it out of your head because it is trapped. It feels like it's trapped. It feels like when you have something on the tip of your tongue and you're like, oh, what was so-and-so's name? Oh, what was their name? It's right on the tip of your brain. It's right on the tip of your tongue. That is an aggravating, agonizing feeling. And that's where you are. You're at a place where you've seen some people in the online space, in the real world space, fall down hard. But if they had your book, things would have been different. These are people that couldn't have a conversation with you. Maybe they were on the other side of the country. You saw them on the news. Maybe they were in a Facebook group and they chimed in and said, I'm about to throw in the towel. Maybe they're in a parenting group in your community and they're saying, I cannot do this. I'm a bad mom. That breaks my heart. But had you shown up with the clarity to get them from awareness to action, things could have changed. So that is your homework assignment. I'm going to run it down again. I want you to list out your intentions. Why do you really want to write a book? And be selfish. Who's going to check you, boo? It's you. Be selfish. If it will make you feel good to be able to share with people a better way and get them results, if that'll make you feel like a rock star to be able to say, I know you haven't gotten one sale in your business. I'm going to show you how to get clients and it's going to seem like they popped out of the air because they were around you the whole time. Do that. If it'll make you feel better about the journey that you have ventured into in your life, if it'll all make sense for you, If you can write a book that helps people, then that's it. What are the intentions that you have? Remember, that's internal for writing your book. And then the goals. List out your goals. Go big or go home. I always say, I want to be on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. I want to be on the Steve Harvey Show. I keep saying it. Maybe they'll watch it live and be like, Lord, let's help this little girl. Come on. But whatever your goals are, write them out. This is your opportunity to be selfish. This is your path from awareness to action. Because the next step will be really tapping into and writing that love letter that your readers need anyway. So I promised I wouldn't hold you guys long. That's the first step. You have your assignment. If you have not joined the group, it's a link. I think it's up in the bio, not the bio, up in the description section. Click on the link, join the group. Feel free to go live in there, share about your homework, because it is time to get your book done. It's been time. You know that. This is not new information. You just need the tools to unlock the book that's trapped in your head so that you can go from done to delivered, right? Delivering it to the people who need it the most. So that is it. I will make sure that I leave this replay in a bunch of different places in case some people have to come back, and I saw some people hopping on and off. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. Do people still say same station? But thank you so much for joining me today. And I will make sure that I include any links and everything like that. I'll see you guys later.